Tiffany Stratton's title reign has just kicked off, and it's being surrounded by a big question, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's new with the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, and more. Starting things off with this dilemma that the community is discussing when it comes to Tiffany Stratton, and more specifically the status of her character. Fans are a bit unsure about if Tiffany Stratton is a heel, a babyface, a tweener, or maybe even just a neutral character. WWE has been upping their usage of neutral characters in recent memory. Two individuals that get a pass for being neutral characters right now are Gunther and Braun Breaker. Those two characters that fall under the neutral category because they have heel tendencies, but they'll occasionally shake their opponent's hand after a match and do things of that sort. So now when it comes to Tiffany Stratton's character status, fans are struggling to find what category Tiffany fits into. During the cash-in, it appeared to be clear as day. It was a full babyface turn for Tiffany Stratton, as she finally broke free from the mental abuse that Nia Jax and Candice were issuing to her on a weekly basis. But with Tiffany Stratton's January 10th promo and some of the things she said there, Tiffany did give off some heelish vibes, and even made some reveals that alters everything we thought we knew about this story. Prior to this promo from Tiffany Stratton, the story made it kind of seem like Tiffany and Nia were very close friends. What made their friendship turn sour was when Nia Jax got paranoid about Tiffany potentially cashing in on her. So Nia started to make it her business to psychologically break Tiffany down from within by saying hurtful things and raising self-doubt in Tiffany. And Tiffany was the innocent one because she did value her friendship with Nia Jax and was legitimately not going to cash in at her at all. But due to all that abuse that Nia was constantly pouring on her, that's what causes Tiffany to change her mind and decides to cash in on Nia Jax. And no one would look at Tiffany as being the bad friend in this scenario because of all the months of psychological trauma that Nia put on her. It created this narrative where you were rooting for Tiffany to break free and cash in on Nia Jax. That's how the story appeared to be over the last few months, which would make Tiffany Stratton a big babyface for standing up to her abusive friend. But on the January 10th edition of SmackDown, Tiffany Stratton revealed that cashing in on Nia Jax has been her plan from the very start. Tiffany said that while Nia Jax thought Tiffany was dumb and naive over the last few months, Tiffany was actually manipulating the entire situation and was never loyal to Nia Jax. And that's a cool little twist. Nothing wrong with that per se, but that twist does feel like it takes away from Tiffany's perspective as a babyface character. Here we're thinking that Tiffany's turning babyface for standing up to her monstrous best friend that had gone rogue on her, but in reality, it was Tiffany Stratton who betrayed and backstabbed Nia Jax, because Tiffany's plan from day one was to get Nia to trust her and cash in when the time was right, which is deceptive and pretty evil. In a strange sort of way, it makes you sympathize with Nia Jax, because she was actually the one getting worked here this whole entire time. So it's not necessarily a bad twist that shatters the story, but this reveal by Tiffany Stratton does keep her in that light of basically being a backstabbing, manipulative, untrustworthy sort of character, rather than a freshly turned innocent babyface character like everyone originally thought. And getting this reveal and looking back at some of the events of the story, there are some things that happened there that supports Tiffany's claim that this was all part of her plan the entire time. There was one segment where the superstars were trying to stir the pot between Nia and Tiffany just snapped for a brief moment and said that she did not need the briefcase to beat Nia Jax, and how she can beat Nia anytime, any place. But when that happened, Tiffany instantly took those words back and said she didn't mean it. But now looking back after this twist reveal, it seems like when Tiffany did say that, it was real Tiffany speaking, not the dumb version of herself that she was portraying to Nia. So that old moment there does confirm that Tiffany was faking it the whole entire time. Even if Nia had been extremely nice to Tiffany over the last few months, it wouldn't have mattered. Tiffany was coming for her either way and was going to strike on Nia no matter how Nia treated her. So knowing all this new information, it doesn't seem like Tiffany Stratton will be a full babyface during this title reign. She did tease and give off a little subtle heel hints with the January 10th promo, so we'll have to see how the character evolves during the reign. it's been confirmed that Bayley will be Tiffany's first opponent as champion. So that match could also tell a lot about Tiffany's character. Will she be respectful towards Bayley? Will she try to cheat? Lots of telling signs should come from that match about where Tiffany's character stands right now. Now let's get into a very fun Bloodline theory that was mentioned by the Raw post-show cast themselves. With Solo Sikoa literally losing the little claim that he had for being the tribal chief following the loss to Roman Reigns, this now leaves the new Bloodline with a very unknown future. It even sounds like they'll be getting a new faction name, because commentary kept referring to the trio as the former New Bloodline. So that seems like a little hint that there's a small repackage on the way there for Tama, Jacob, and Solo. But the big thing here that the fans are pointing out is that since Solo Sikoa no longer has the Ula Fala and lost the tribal combat match, he has no claim to any tribal chief position, therefore meaning that Tama and Jacob don't really have any actual reason to stay loyal to Solo. The Raw panel hinted at that idea that history could repeat itself here, but with karma now coming for Solo Sikoa. Solo took advantage at the right time and moment for him to come in and steal the crown. So what if right now is another perfect time for someone to come in and take advantage of this moment to put themselves on top? And that someone obviously being Jacob Fatu. You can even look at the January 10th edition of SmackDown, a further proof of this theory. With Solo Sikoa nowhere to be found, Jacob Fatu instantly became the leader, shot caller, and mouthpiece for what was left of the new Bloodline. Solo will be back on the January 17th edition of SmackDown, so Jacob's run as the temporary leader will be a short one. But what if this little taste of power is all it takes for Jacob to realize that he really doesn't have to listen to Solo Sikoa anymore? With no Ula Fala being in play and Solo being in a big slump right now, Jacob could take advantage of this opening and gain full power over the new Bloodline. Take advantage of the weakened tribal chief that's coming off a big loss, the same exact way Solo Sikoa did back in 2024. It's perfect karma for Solo Sikoa. Paul Heyman did try to warn Solo that the Bloodline members he was bringing in were all bad men that couldn't be trusted. So what better way to pay off everything Paul Heyman warned Solo about than by Jacob and Tama going rogue on Solo Sikoa? The idea of Jacob Fatu taking over seems very realistic, because there was rumors circulating recently that claimed WWE was interested in building Jacob Fatu up even more and having him face Roman Reigns in a big program down the line. So having Jacob Fatu gain full control of the new Bloodline and fully blossom into a massive threat towards Roman Reigns seems like a match and feud that all Bloodline fans would be getting hyped about. So definitely keep an eye on Jacob, because this could be the opening he needs to take over the entire operation. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.